Welcome to Cannabis School. I'm your host, Jesse Angeles.
And I'm Brandon Elder.
And we're here to talk to you about everything pertaining to cannabis, from vape,
flower,
edibles,
strains,
and everything in between. See the good in all things. And you can tell, these are special mushrooms.
Right? And mine just looks like a hippie shirt.
Well,
but it is made from hemp.
Yeah, well, it is made from hemp. I got this. This is a Walmart special. It cost me $7. I was super excited when I saw it, and I was like, well, I'm going to get it.
Oh, hell yeah. This was more than $7.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to Cannabis School again, another episode.
Welcome back.
And, you know, we're excited. We're constantly experimenting with new video angles, and we want you guys to let us know what you prefer, what you'd like to see more of, and I don't know, we're creating this together.
Yeah. So, we're going to adjust that real fast. So, yeah, we also had another camera angle that it just didn't seem to work today. So
yeah, crapped out on us.
Next week, we will have another.
Yeah, and it'll be awesome, but...
jokes in a couple weeks.
Jokes.
We record more than 1 week at a time.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so the strain we're talking about today, you know what I thought about? You remember those old commercials of York Peppermint Patty? Where they would take that disgusting chocolate with the creamy mint. It's pretty much toothpaste.
Yeah, they're pretty terrible as far as like candy goes.
But when you were a kid, and you
they
get
were
the commercial,
delicious.
they're amazing, right? And it was like a crack
I always put mine in the fridge.
to make it super cold.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I loved that.
That was good, right? But you know, for those, I mean, we're not shitting all over. You know, what are they called again? York Peppermint Patties. We're not shitting all over those. But what we will want to go into is we're thinking about minty, creamy, and it's an
super
experiment.
creamy.
Oh yeah, and it's like not an overpowering like menthol mint.
No, it was, I would say, like you said earlier, like an Andes mint.
Yeah.
So it was very smooth, very mild. But tell us, what's the strain this week?
The strain this week we are reviewing is Kush Mints.
Kush Mints.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic, delicious strain. It's a crossbreed between Animal Mints and Bubba Kush.
And it's a hybrid, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
it is.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, and it's lower on the scale as far as like on the hybrid side. It's more indica leaning, and it has a lot of amazing I mean, it's pretty amazing as far as how they feel.
Yeah.
You know, you read the reviews of other people, and you're like, wow, that thing looks like it's going to kick your ass. But I don't know. I had a different experience.
Yeah, I want to ask you, because you don't like Bubba Kush. It's not one of your favorites.
Well, and I have history with it. So well over a year ago now, I had a massive anxiety attack, and I took too much Bubba Kush, which caused it to be really... It was too much, and I couldn't use cannabis for a month. But with this, man, I got to tell you, it is extremely de-stressing. Now, we're around the holidays at this time of recording, and it could be any holiday. We're just going to leave it at that. It could be, I don't know, it could be any time.
I feel like it's the perfect time for Thanksgiving strain. It's coming up real soon. You're going to walk outside.
You're going to hear this episode probably after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, oh, man.
But that's all cool.
We recorded this before.
Yeah, but the one thing I really want to be able to stress on this not stress on it, actually de-stress. Kush Mints is well known for being able to have a reduction in stress in your life. And that's pretty cool. I know a lot of other cannabis strains can do that, but this doesn't have the anxiety-inducing properties that some indicas can give our sativa friends out there. I know that sativa people tend to say, I don't play with indica because it gets me really anxious. And I think it's just due to it's a difference in blood pressure. There's a whole myriad of different things that could cause that. So I don't know.
This one, it's the most commonly reported, like most two reported are happy and relaxed.
Yeah.
As far as the effects come from it. So there's definitely more.
This is a good fuck it strain. I'm upset, but I don't need to let this overwhelm me.
I agree. Yeah, it's really nice. Mine was it started in my body. It started in my low spine is where I felt the tingles first, and then it kind of just like spread from there.
That's cool. Mine's almost on the opposite side. My indicas always start right here by my just right there where the rib cage meets.
Interesting.
It
Okay.
starts there, but then it spreads all over my body pretty
Every
quickly.
indica?
No. I would say that on average, indicas hit me in the chest.
But that was your experience with
Yeah, but it was
Kush Mints.
slightly lower with Kush Mints, but then it radiated through my body pretty quickly.
Yeah. It went through and then your whole body's relaxed, but it's munchy. So I think like sit down with your snack before you go and get really blitzed, and then you're like, oh man,
Yeah.
I don't really feel like getting up, but I kind of got the munchies now. So
Yeah, get all stocked up if you're, really into salt and sugar. Hey, that's cool. I'm trying to get away from that. And right now, like especially with Kush Mints, this one was great because if at any time where it can be stressful with family, friends, or not having any of the above, right? By being able to use this certain strain, I feel that I don't have a lot of, it's not caring. I would say it's more, I feel okay with me. That's the way that I would describe the euphoric feeling that I get. It's not that my problems go away, but I can take a break from those problems just for a little bit so I can deal with those stressors and usually come out on the other end with a better idea of what I need to do next.
yeah, I feel like, especially with cannabis and issues with life, stress, anything like that, Thanksgiving, holiday time,
Right.
things with family. The problem with our minds is we have so much other stuff going on that even one small issue can feel overwhelming sometimes because of everything else in life. But taking a minute with like Kush Mints, it really helps decompress and get rid of all that other chatter, that mess that you really don't need in your head. And then after that, it allows you to focus on that individual problem that really is or maybe isn't even a real issue when you get rid of the other noise.
Yeah, that's a great point too, because it's allowing yourself to kind of just just kind of go away and let yourself put you into place. Like, I mean, again, we talk about intention all the time. If you're using cannabis, use it with intent. I had to come to that conclusion when somebody goes, "Are you high right now?" I'm like, I don't get high. I just don't. I can feel high if I want to,
Yeah.
depending on how much I want to use. Like, we know that Brandon has an extremely high tolerance. Those of you listening, you guys have a high tolerance, or you're like me, you're kind of in between, or you have those brand newbies. Like they take it one hit off of a bowl and they're gone.
So one of my cousins, she saw our Instagram post about Snoop Dogg only ever being outsmoked by Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And she came over and she was like, I was thinking about when I saw that post, if I could outsmoke you, like, I'm sure she has a decent tolerance. I'm sure she does. But that was a test that I'm like, we have to settle this. Like, we have to find out sometime. So one time we're going to get together and just sit down and, see who greens out first.
Dude, that'd be killer content. If you guys would like to see that, make those comments on there saying, "Yeah, we'd love to see you guys do that." Like maybe a live, just seeing like a smoke out. Hey, maybe that's the thing we do, man. We do a smoke out. Like
Do a live smoke session.
A live smoke out session, right? Just like we're gonna try this strain. This is how much with that, and we're just gonna keep going
All right.
and loading until they drop. Because already I know I'm out. I mean, every time before we get on, we partake, we get ready, and
We always got to prep to record.
oh yeah, but I mean, thinking about like, oh, what was that? Oh, that's funny. So when we're thinking about how to find the right strain for hard times, and if you're in your local dispensary, and now before going past that, how we tried this. I tried it in a vape. I understand you were just in a vape. I've never had it in flower. Have you had it in flower?
No, but it's definitely on my list to try and flower now.
Yeah, when I read up on different flowers, like this review says, one of my favorites. I've had a lot of trouble with past strains, but this one makes me have no anxiety. Definitely recommended if you're a person with a lot of anxiety. If I'm alone, I if I'm alone, I feel creative, focused, productive, hungry, and a little bit sleepy. When I'm around friends, I feel highly energetic, focused, creative, and hungry. So this is a snacky strain, like you said, and
It is.
it
Yeah.
is, and it's fine. I mean, if you have a problem with snacks, one of the things that I do, I try to find like the healthiest snacks I can find, with a little bit of whatever. But I tend to find that things that are more fibrous help fill me up and not want to continue eating. But that's again, it's my intent. If I'm got the munchies and I'm like shit,
You
that
know what I find helps?
that DiGiorno's pizza looks badass in my freezer.
I find that if I get the munchies, the way I can curb those munchies is to keep smoking. Because if I'm smoking, I don't have time to put that in my mouth. I'm just doing the other motion, you know? It
You guys hear that frog?
was beautiful.
Weird.
Honestly, so this strain is pretty well balanced. The average,
Yeah.
like it's usually like low, mid 20s THC, but the highest is about 27%.
Yeah, the highest you can find out there, common, is like in the 19-20 area
Yeah,
range as far as percentage.
but it has quite a good range of terpenes. The most prevalent are limonene, beta-carotene, and beta-myrcene.
Mm.
So not the acidic, but like decarbed, like, or the post,
Yeah.
which is wild. And it actually has THC, CBD, and CBG in this strain.
Mm.
So the entourage effect with this strain is probably a lot stronger, especially if you get a really good cultivar and flower or something, because that's all bred into it genetically.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
That's way cool because, and you have to think about that again with your intent and with the terpene profiles. Terpene profiles make up for such a high. Well, yeah, it makes up the high. I mean,
Yeah.
it honestly, just straight THC is not an enjoyable experience.
No.
And when you're having all of these different profiles that are associated with it, that's why we behoove you to, when you're in a dispensary, look to see if you can be able to find out what type of terpenes are in there, if they're natural, right? Because sometimes they're plant-based terpenes that are put into
Yeah.
it after the fact.
Not cannabis based.
Right.
And that you find sometimes with the distillates is that they will be a total. The problem with distillate is it's an isolated compound. Anytime you isolate any compound, you're taking out all of the other natural occurring flavonoids, cannabinoids, terpenes that are in that plant. And so when you're stripping it down to one compound, your endocannabinoid system is missing all of those other things.
Yeah.
And so even then putting back in, even if they're cannabis-derived terpenes, it still doesn't hit the same if you get like a live rosin pen.
Right.
So it is something to look for. Terpenes make a huge difference in your experience, and that the specific terpene can be what is causing your anxiety, your stress, or just elevating it.
Yeah, absolutely. Elevating it. And that's another thing. That's why you guys come here for this podcast. Is you're trying to elevate your knowledge in there and seeing like, okay, does this match my endocannabinoid system? Now we go through multiple strains to be able to understand how we feel. As I am more prone to being able to go for sativas, I have ADHD. That's not a problem. That's not a deficiency. That's not a disability. It's an ability. But I tend to have the higher strains because they on the sativa side, because that helps me to focus and I feel good on it. But at the same time, can I get completely fucking blitzed on it? Hell yeah, I can. I can get downright stupid on it if I want to, but it's always about the intent. So thinking about that, even with your edibles and all that, if you're getting store-bought, yeah, it's a bit of a crapshoot. You're going to get what you're going to get, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. You can get strain-specific ones.
But even then, a lot of the times I notice that edibles are made with distillate.
Yeah.
And so you're getting, even if it's a strain, half the time it's either terpenes added back in after. And so the experience really just isn't, it's not the same. So Man,
I had a cat yawn.
that pirate piss really got you.
Yeah, that pirate. No, it's really good. It's fantastic, which you guys will hear about later on.
Yeah. But this, honestly, the looks, everything that I looked up for Kush Mints, the nugs were beautiful.
Yeah,
They're like fluffy, green, like orange hairs all over.
you'll see it around here somewhere,
Yep. Yeah.
or on top of my face,
Yeah.
or it'll just take over the screen.
It'll sit on your face.
Clear a place.
Well, now we
for
have
it
to this
sit.
episode.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I got to say that Kush Mints in the vape form, even though it was distillate, was very good. Felt amazing. It kicks in. There are times that you'll use a cart and it's a bit of a delay. Jack Herrera, Jack Herrera, that has that tendency. It takes a little bit more time to kick in fully, so you could be on your fifth, sixth hit on the pen, because normally you feel it on the first two, and you're like, this ain't doing shit. And then,
I love the creepers, the ones that, it's specific strains that do that. That you feel a little bit like at first.
Oh yeah,
But the real experience is about 15 to 30 minutes, depending on the strain. But for your Jack, it was probably 15, like probably decently quick because,
but not Kush Mints. Kush Mints is almost instantaneous. Like I get there, I feel it deep into there, and then it spreads through. Within about a few minutes, I'm feeling quite elevated. And for me, not being a super strong user of indicas, this one was awesome. This felt amazing.
Yeah, it's a really well-balanced hybrid.
Yeah.
Like the experience it's fantastic.
So if you're in your local dispensary and you're going to be asking about different carts, flower, definitely ask them about Kush Mints, see what they have in stock. And always, if you're a little bit curious about that, the cart doesn't look wonderful. The packaging really isn't just awesome, not necessarily stony, but just not really there. Check the COA just
Yeah.
to make sure. Just
Always check the COA, or if
Yeah.
they don't have it on there, I would ask them.
Yeah, no, more than likely they have the information there. And to all our favorite bud tenders out there, just rode through Phoenix. I'll have to let them know on social media. The dispensary I stopped by while I was driving through Phoenix, and it was pretty cool experience. Very chill, cool people, and I got them all listening to this podcast. So
Oh, hell yeah.
it's awesome. But yeah, last thing I'll say on food wise, munchies. This is definitely a salty, sweet type munchie. It's definitely in a bag, whatever it is. I would almost say like Chex Mix, like a sweet Chex Mix, like they got like a honey one. I've seen that. I would eat the hell out of that bag.
Yeah, I puffed on this a lot while helping my buddy build that home.
Oh yeah,
And so still, like, very, like the person in the review said, you can have a lot of energy, a lot of focus or whatever when you're with friends or doing something. And so that same focus and energy, but salty snack. I had a whole bag of sunflower seeds and just kept them up there, munched on them, and,
dude.
super munchy.
Yeah, salty or sweet.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
But this strain is often used for chronic pain and depression, chronic fatigue, nausea, appetite loss, and anxiety.
Yeah, nausea. I actually used it when I don't know what happened. I ate something. It was just really bad. Instead of going to the Tums,
Mm-hmm.
took a couple hits off this, and like instantly it was gone.
Oh, yeah. I went to a Friendsgiving and I had like 3 beers, which is a lot for me. I don't drink anymore.
Right.
So the next morning I woke up and I'm like, God, I really don't feel that great.
Get the dead liver farts.
No, I just,
It did.
I always feel like nauseous in the morning and that. And I'm just like, man. So drink water, but you know me in the morning, I drink coffee too. So
Yeah, and that's not going to go well with an upset stomach.
no. So obviously I start puffing on a pen first thing in the morning and it takes it right away.
Yeah, best cure all. Literally for hangovers, for upset tummy. Maybe you visited some Buffalo Wild Wings and had to.
I love B-dubs.
Yeah, dude. I mean, Kush Mints is great for the indigestion problems that you may have as well.
You know what's surprising? This one had coffee flavors reported.
Oh, I didn't taste that.
Yeah, mint,
I just thought of
coffee,
the Andes chocolates.
earthy, sweet. And I'm like, I got the minty and like a little hint of earthy. Like it wasn't bad because it's still cannabis. There was a,
You, of
but it
course.
it was a really sweet strain.
Yeah, I think it's over time that your palate will start to be able to refine itself where you can start tasting certain things. And it just takes time. So for everybody who's like, I don't taste that, all I taste is burning plant. Well, you're right.
Yeah, maybe change up your experience.
Yeah.
Because depending on what you're doing is also dependent on what you taste.
Right. Is it a vaporizer? Are you rolling joints? Are you smoking out of bongs? Are you got a little bubbler? Is it a pipe? Are you vaporizing it through, or are you taking it from a distillate?
Well, even then, it goes down to, are you igniting it with flame? Are you
Mhm.
heating it with a heat rod? Are you using a hemp wick? Like, what is the initial ignition as well?
Right.
Because even that can change the flavor that you get.
Oh, yeah.
And
Absolutely.
so, yeah, it's incredible to see the difference your experience can be from the experience you start with.
And that's just take your time. But
Go low and slow.
low and slow, but going with intent. Figure out exactly why you're using that strain, and it can be medicine.
It is for me.
It is for me as well. All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much. Again, follow us on Instagram. Also, your donations help us to be able to make this show what it is. Where right now we have no sponsors, and we're always looking for them just to be able to match up to you because we want to be able to provide you with the best type of products out there. But your donations make a huge impact on us. Even if it's $1, we appreciate the hell out of you.
It's helped us upgrade and get better sound quality so you guys don't listen to us shit in your ears.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Those it was like a month.
There
or
was
so.
definitely some brutal ones.
Yeah,
like
we
we were in a
apologize for those.
box or underwater.
Oh well, right? You guys stuck with
If you
us.
guys had seen the videos, it would have been cool. We were in a pool. Just kidding. We were spooning in a closet.
Oh,
Catch you guys next week.
yeah. Take care.